I'm the director of JTCC Florida.
Hello, Claudio. Thank you very much for your time today. So how have you been?
All good. Hello to all of you. Pleasure to be here. All is great. I'm in Florida now.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, once again, thank you very much for your time. So Mr. Claudio Pistolesi, am I saying it correctly?
Yes, you did.
Okay. So he's the former tennis player on the ATP Tour. He was ranked as high as number 71 during his time. And apart from his playing career, he has also coached renowned tennis players, which includes 9-time Grand Slam champion Monica Seles, and other renowned players such as Robin Soderling and Daniela Hentukova. And presently, he's the part of the advisory board for Sense Arena, which is an VR training tool to improve mental and cognitive skills for tennis players and other athletes who are aiming to perform at their peak. So, Claudio, once again, welcome to our show.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here. Also, I want to add that I'm a director of JTCC Florida, which is a company partner of Sense Arena, and very exciting to start this new project in tennis.
All right. So what are the benefits of VR training, and how can Sense Arena for tennis help to improve a player's game?
Benefits are huge because it goes in the direction where all coaches at high level are looking nowadays, which is train the brain and the nerve system. As my time when I was a player was so much about the muscular, and through the years, tennis developed so much, like other sports, but probably tennis more than others. And Sense Arena is a fantastic tool to help coaches, but mainly players, to go in this direction, to help the aspect of the mental training. You know, mental training, the same way you have a physical trainer, you have technical training, is as much important and deserve, and is the need to give time and energy to develop and to grow and to learn. You can get to the most important thing, the body awareness, through the nerve system, and Sense Arena is a great tool for that. That's incredible benefit.
Since you reinforce the importance of mental health and mental trainings in tennis, we also know that tennis legend, 59-time Grand Slam champion Martina Navratilova has been in collaboration with Sense Arena. And she mentioned the visualization and Sense Arena virtual reality training in tennis is a game changer. And the game of tennis involves a lot of physical activity in the present times. And the differentiation comes in the mental game. So how did you get the idea to have a partnership with Martina Navratilova into Sense Arena?
Well, I was approached from Sense Arena leaders and told me about this project, and was very natural, very also very exciting to immediately understand that this is a continuation of my work of the last 15 or 20 years. Because, you know, the beauty of my job of coaching is that we get older, aging. There's nobody can change that, but we don't want our job to get older, you know, because we want to be the first on to see the developments. And I'm sure the Sense Arena is an upfront on that, you know, on the mental training, you know, and, you know, if you break down this meaning of mental training, you need to train the different mental abilities, like self-confidence, like concentration, like stress management. So there is so many of this mental ability. This means mental training, and the tool of Sense Arena is going to the future. It's projected to the present and to the future, because it's giving you the technology behind that. You know, we are studying for many years, trying to find a way, and there was really immediate match. You know, immediate good fit with what I can talk for myself, but I'm sure I can talk for many of coaches, they work with the professional players, and that, it was a great fit to continuation with the incredible add and benefit of the modern technology about mental training.
Mm-hmm. So the following up with your answer, you mentioned about self-confidence, concentration, and stress management. Present day, not just in sports, in other fields of work, everybody is dealing with everybody is having difficulties in, self-confidence, stress management, and we have other traditional methods as well for that. So do you think the traditional sense arena can replace the traditional methods to deal with,
well, for sure you can add, no, I think you still go and train on the court or do what we used to do, but there is an adding, I think sense arena add a great tool to develop and to also to explain, to make it more clear, to send a message. Is in tennis, there is a need of this revolutionary coaching. How do you look at coaching? What is important for coaching, how to deliver the message, how to teach on the teaching tennis. The tennis learning goes through is visual, so exactly what we're talking about, visual, brain, psycho, from the brain, goes to the nerve system, neuro, and finally muscular. So this is the process to feed all the time. And we have tools, that we can invent it. We have to always try to be creative on that. It's no more executing order. It's no more going by the book. It's a cooperation with the player, because players will be involved, because it's his body, it's his arm, it's his brain, it's his or her nerve system. And we need to feed that. And that's the main coaching job. We're too much behind in many places of the world, in many situations, many organizations on that. So I have the feeling that this is a revolution. This is really a step forward, huge step forward to the future for teaching tennis, for coaching tennis. I think I'm a strong believer for many years. So just a few months ago, I learned about sense arena, and immediately, the light came in the dark with this technology applied to this concept. Is a new concept of watching at the coaching tennis. Involved, it's been spent millions of dollars to make the kids start earlier and earlier, but the effect was that they also quit much earlier and earlier. So we have to stay, with the one they start, to involve them, and then sense arena goes so much in this direction to keep and grow the passion for this beautiful sport. And the world changes. There is nothing to do. Nobody can do it. You like it or not. The world changes, but we have to update and try to adapt the need that especially the young generation they have. And we, on our generation, I'm 55 years old. We have to be ready to understand that, and to be ready to do the right changes, the right updating, and the right adding. Looking at what we have today we have fantastic technology. Of course, this in my time was impossible, and we have to be very happy about that, because it's incredible good news to have sense arena in the world, also for the coaching world, to teach tennis with new concepts. There are many that they are not working well. We have to say the truth. So now we are improving. We have an occasion. We have an opportunity. That's what I see sense arena, a great opportunity for all tennis coaches in the world and players.
That's wonderful to know. And also, like Navratilova mentioned, it's definitely the game changer, and it will revolutionize tennis in the coming future.
Yes, I didn't know, but I'm not surprised. As probably Martina has the same feeling about that.
Okay, and moving on, we also know that Sense Arena has collaboration with amazing athletes such as Jack Sock and Australian Open finalist Jennifer Brady. How has the relationship has been, and how do you see these two players, the partnership with these two players going forward in the future?
Well, I know that Jack and Jennifer they're very impressed, and they're very attracted from this new concept and new tool for Sensorina training. We talk about training, and I'm sure in the future will be many top players training with Sensorina. This for sure I can tell you.
All right. So since you mentioned about Sensorina trainings, how do you divide the training session for players, and what are the experiments that are you going to include to judge a player's mental resilience or mental skill before the training?
Well, that's the beauty of that, is you have to go through a personalized program for each player. You know, the word I like the least is a system, because system give me the idea that there is something the same for everybody, but that's actually the opposite. There are as many system, as many program for as many players we have. You know, so Sensorina give you a number of drills that the player can select according what is his need or her need to improve where he or she feels to need to improve. You know, so that's why the drills are very important. And with technology, you can do things that you cannot do in real life. So we have, you know, we can see tangible difference being a game changer for thanks to Sensorina.
All right. So from what I understand is every player will be having a personal team and Sensorina as the equipment, and they will be analyzing the cognition and the mental resilience of each player. So am I correct?
Yes, and I can add to that you can measure, you know, unless you have results, you can measure your efficiency on the mental training through the drills, how good you can make the drills, you know, this how much time you need to deliver some numbers. And the measuring is something incredibly important and precious in tennis, because you know it's tough to measure the tennis level. It's only by, you know, discretion of who is watching, but not anymore now, because Sensorina can measure things and through the drills. And this feeds your self-confidence. You know, if you work well, it's not coming in one day, but you know, if you keep consistency on adding Sensorina training in your daily, weekly, monthly, yearly work, which is not going to substitute at all the rest that you do in the real training, but is an adding that can also help you so much on the self-confidence, because you can measure. If I'm an athlete of long jump, for example, you know, I know what is my personal best. I have the numbers to measure my performance. In tennis, the typical language in tennis is I play well, I play bad, but it's very general. You know, we need to go more sharp and try to give more information about where I am. It's like the GPS. You know, I have to know where I am. If I know where I want to go, first thing I want to know is where I am. So I can measure, I can see the result on different drills, and then you can see the improvements and compare what you did from the past. And of course, this is great motivation also to be there and to feed the passion, the internal push that you have for getting a better tennis player.
So Sensorina will be delivering a magnitude of mental resilience of an athlete. So that's wonderful to know. Like this parameter, we have never really heard of, you know, having a magnitude for the mental resilience of any given athlete. And over the past few months, we have had Grand Slam champions like Naomi Osaka, Bianca Andreescu, Sloane Stephens. They have been really vocal about their mental health issues. And how important is mental health training parameter in order to have a successful tennis career or a sporting career?
Yes, for all these stories, you have to one by one, if you really want to know what's happened to each one of the player you mentioned, the general situation for life, not only for tennis, but for sure, tennis is at the center of their life. They're tennis champions, and to having a tool that they can help them to know themselves better, how they are in this moment, it can be an help to, you know, to stay attached and to stay really in the good balance with the relation there with the tennis, in my opinion.
So right now, if I'm not wrong, you have the Sensorina for tennis and hockey. And in the future, do you plan to expand it in other sports as well?
Well, for now, we are very proud what Sense Arena doing in hockey. It's 3 years old, the hockey experience, and is doing incredibly well.
Mm-hmm.
And we just started. We don't even started with tennis, actually. So we're focused on tennis.
Mm-hmm.
And if I can project the future in 3 years, where we are in the hockey now, will be tennis in 3 years is unbelievable what we can do with that. So for now, we're focused on that, and then we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
for other opportunities.
So why do you think that the scope in tennis is unbelievable?
Because you have continuously improving, you have updating, you have the team of technologies is really incredibly advanced. I'm learning things that I didn't know. My age, even being 45 years in the business tennis, so I can feel that is every week, every month, this goes better and better. So if you project 3 years of this, keep this pace of improving. That's why I say it's going to be unbelievable in 3 years, but maybe it's going to be in 2 or 4. But for sure, there is a plus sign. We always get better and better. This is incredibly exciting, and contribution of all the team is a fantastic team with incredible experience. We have Martina Navratilova, and the team is growing, and the leaders are doing a great job of putting together this team. So that's why I believe much, and a lot of very, very excited to be part of it.
And since you mentioned about your constant hunger to learn new things and the changes that are happening in the world right now, and you are not reluctant to adapt to something new. So one personal question, like, what motivated you to be involved in the Sense Arena project?
As I said, this Sense Arena leader kind of read my mind, because since 20 years I'm looking for tools to improve the self-awareness, to improve the to have the concept of teaching tennis through the proprioception, to visualization, not only talking. The message you send to the students is not only talk, is not only from the ears. You can show visual, and you make them feel. So nothing better than Sense Arena to feel, to have proprioceptive and feed the process I was mentioning before. This flow of feeding the nerve system. The top athletes in the world, Michael Jordan, Roger Federer, Tom Brady, etc. They are born with incredible capacity to send this message from the brain through the muscle, from the eye to the brain to the nerve system to the muscle, through two cords, nerve cords that are behind here. I don't know the name in English. I apologize. I know in Italian it's called assoni. I'm Italian, so. But that's this 2 wire. They are bigger, and so the message goes more clear and faster. The good news is that we can train this flow. And Sense Arena is a perfect tool to train this flow. Are we going to be everybody like Roger Federer, Michael Jordan? No, but for sure, all of us can improve so much, can get to the best we can do according to our possibilities at any level. But that's incredibly interesting for the high level players, high level juniors, or professionals, because you go in details. You go more in details. Maybe you need the 3 inches far from your best. You can find a tool to train and get these 3 inches missing, which translated in results can be huge difference in the results during the year.
All right. So what I understand from your answer is, like, the top athletes like Michael Jordan and Roger Federer, they have an exceptional central nervous system. Am I correct?
Yes, for sure. They have something that they're born with that makes them. I had the privilege to work with one of them, compare with Monica Seles. I was the practice partner. I was still young, and I had the honor to be in her team for more than 1 year and be in the box of her team when she won the Australian Open '96. And I was feeling, I was still young. I was still very high ranked. Top 200 in the world. As a man, I was try to guarantee a good level of practice for her. She was number 1 in the world. And I felt that this kind of champions, they have something extra on this matter. The coordination, the mental ability, the coordination skills is different, and nobody understands well how and they're different. Now we do, and now we can practice. And again, they're not going to be everybody like the legends. Martina Navratilova is another, of course, of them. But it's exciting for everyone to know that nowadays there is a tool that you can practice. You can have access to this tool easily and explore, challenge yourself to get your best, because this is the real victory. This is when you say, I made it, I got my best. What is your best? It depends each player, but once you say, I know that I get my best, all the years that you spend improving and investing in this sport, you will be incredibly rewarding. I did my best, and now we have accessible tool to get to the best result possible in your tennis life. Do your best.
Since you mentioned about Monica Seles, we would like to dig deep in that topic. So your experience was definitely wonderful with her, and you were honored to be her hitting partner, and you had a seat for yourself in her box while she was winning the Australian Open in 1996. And prior to that, like 3 years prior to that, she underwent a really unfortunate incident, which was the stabbing. And till date, it intrigues me. It gives everyone in the tennis world goosebumps when they talk about, Monica Seles being stabbed. And despite, undergoing such a traumatic situation, she bounced back on the WTA tour. She was winning. She won a slam, and which was really exceptional. So did she had to undergo a mental training before coming back to the tour after being in such a catastrophic place?
Well, this is something you should ask her. And this is talking about 1990s, in the 90s. So what I can tell you, she's a fantastic woman. She's one of the best athletes ever. To be able to win a major after what's happened to her, I think is one of the best achievement ever in every sport, not only in tennis. And it's not enough highlighted, I think, in the world. In Milan, Italy, in a big tournament at that time, I think it was 91. Guess against who? Against Martina Navratilova. And there was, they say, one of the best match ever played from two women in the WTA, the women tour. I was there, and for sure, this level, they must be in another gear, another level of mental balance and motivation, and trigger the best level when it counts in important points. I remember, like, rarely mistakes. There were only winners. Or Martina was coming in every point, and Monica was trying to pass her or lob her, and it was just a fantastic performance from both. And I was there, so I consider myself very lucky to have seen this match as a team of one of the two players. And now I'm very honored to be the team of Martina for Sands Arena.
So that's wonderful to know. You have collaborated with all legendary tennis players of the Open era. So moving on, another great player, but not on the WTA tour, this time on the ATP tour, you had a chance to work with. So who was Robin Soderling? So Robin Soderling, he's famous. He's really famous for what he did in 2009 at Roland Garros. In the fourth round, he did something which none of the tennis players on the ATP tour back then could do that. And till date, there are just two tennis players who could pull off that victory against Rafa Nadal on the Parisian clay. So, and he also underwent a very difficult situation with his health during the later years of his career. And when he was diagnosed with mononucleosis, it was really sad. And if I'm not wrong, you were working with him when he was at that stage. So how was that experience for you with him, and how did he tackle everything?
Actually, no, I was working with him from end of 2010 until April 2011. So it was a couple of months where he did something great. He won 3 ATP titles in a row: Brisbane, Rotterdam, Marseille. In the middle was a Slam Australian Open 4th round. So he had the record, I think, like 1 loss and 20 wins. It was fantastic. Then Robin, we're great friends nowadays still, and he invited me. I was really honored to invite him in a stage in front of all college tennis coaches in Naples, Florida, telling his story. I was next to him, he introduced me, telling about this period of time that you should listen to me because I was thinking that he was challenging and loading his body with too much work. And that's the reason why we quit. And then he kept playing for another couple of months, and only then he find out about this mono that interrupted his career of 27 years old, which is incredibly sad. But the human part is great. We are great friends, and they understand later why I was trying to, to try to manage better the amount of loading the part of physical that doesn't have to be extreme. I don't like the extreme. I like to have a balance between every aspect. And I was working with him in Rotterdam. Remember, it's a big tournament he won. It's the best compliment I ever had. He told me, yes, I was focused on some drills that I gave him, some hook, it's called in psychology, during the match against Tsonga in the final. That allowed me to win. So this is the best compliment I ever had. So he understands the importance of mental. As I said, there's many years I'm trying to, as a mentor. Alberto Castellani is the one who brought the mental training in tennis in the 80s and 90s from Italy. He was my coach. So I'm really into it so much in this part. I would say mental/emotional part, because the emotions are involved, so you can work on your emotions. And so I'm allowed to say this because Robin publicly said that many times, explaining that if he have time machine and go back, he would behave differently. But this doesn't change that he's a fantastic champion. He's remembered because he beat Nadal in French Open, but he went to the final. He beat Federer as well in French Open. He went to the final the next year as well. So, and he did many others win. He won Paris-Bercy, and he won this Rotterdam back-to-back one after year, 2010, 2011. I was with him in 2011. So it's just a fantastic champion, and he's a fantastic person. That's what I want to say about Robin. And he's incredibly intelligent, so interesting to talk to him. He's incredibly honest and transparent, and I'm very proud to be his friend.
Since you mentioned about your friendship with Robin Soderling, and you both of you are really good friends till date, do we expect his presence, his guidance, and his knowledge of tennis to be applied in the Sense Arena project?
Well, I don't know. It didn't start yet, but for sure, I think at some point, Sense Arena will be very well known in the world, and is now involved with these companies in tennis industry. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure if at some point he's going to take a look, he will be taking a serious look and will like it. And I hope so. But, I think there is a good chance that at some point he will know about that. But I cannot predict the future. But, I think it makes sense that, but not only Robin, I think it's going to be big, and now we're at the beginning, but, it's going to be really, really virtual reality in other field, like military and medicine is taking place and is utilizing a lot in many activities of humanities. So tennis is not an exception, and Sense Arena is there in front, to deliver this updating, this step forward to the future.
All right. So talking about the mental aspect and mental resilience of big three, who are Roger Federer, Nadal, and Djokovic, and also Serena. So what separates them from rest of the tour when it comes to mental trainings or mental resilience, which they wear it on court?
Well, the mental is very wide range topic, so when we go to the mental in tennis, and as I explained before, to train the brain to have better decision making, to have better anticipation, better concentration, Then you have to put this, in the rest. And as I said, it's tailor-made. Each player has his own story, his own family, his own situation, emotional situation, and it's up to them to get the best from Sense Arena when you go back on court. When you can add when you are relation directly player with the sport of tennis. So this is what is focus Sense Arena, and the good side effect of that can be that you can have another tool in your life to put the tennis in the right place and to give the right importance and to have the feeling that you're doing your best, and to measure what you're doing, as I mentioned before. So that's the way I look at it.
Okay, thank you so much for that brief answer, which was pretty clear. So I'll just wrap up with my one final question. So where can someone or a tennis player, when will it be available? Like the Sense Arena, when will it be available for tennis players? And where can they purchase the tool, or where can they avail the service?
Well, now we are about to go to US Open, to have a lounge, to have a demo there, and after that it will be public, and through the social and through the promotion work we're doing, everybody will know after US Open how to go to the next step and to be able to access to Sense Arena, the one interested.
So talking about the US Open, has the demo already taken place, or will it take place in the coming days?
It will take place in the next weekend in the hotel in Manhattan, in Lexington Hotel. And if you go to the website, tennissensearena.com, you can see everything, and you can come to visit, and you can ask questions, and you can start the process to approach as a tennis player, to have this new reality, even virtual reality, but I want to highlight the second word. Reality is a reality of tennis, even though virtual is a new reality of tennis, which I love, and I invite everybody to take a very serious look at that.
So you will be flying to Manhattan this weekend?
Yes, I'll be there.
So are you following the US Open? Are you enjoying it presently?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking at, I'm very close to Amitas Italian. I know the coach of Matteo Berrettini is there, and we grew up together. And so Matteo is a great champion, and we have the other champion Sinner that they're still in place, and they have a chance to go probably to the second week, and who knows where.
Yeah. Talking about Berrettini, like I remember watching his match in 2019 US Open. Like it was a wonderful match against Game of Peace, if I'm not wrong, the quarterfinal match, which they played under the roof. And I was really sad at the semifinals. He lost to Rafa Nadal. So,
yeah, but he had the chance. Talking about mental, Matteo is amazing, strongly player. Yeah, is very great.
You're rooting. So if I'm not, go ahead.
Yeah, maybe his strength is to be mentally strong. Not only his big serve, big forehand, but how tough he's mentally when it counts, when he's coming to the topic moment as every champion.
So I think he's coming back from injuries right now. So hope he does well this US Open.
Yeah, and talking about Sense Arena, this is another of many benefits. When you are injured, coming back from injury, you can play tennis without stress your body, but train the brain as that's the same way. Thank you for giving me the hint that this is another many very important benefit to work with your health in your tennis, to be able to play tennis and train the brain the same way you do it, but without loading the body the same way.
Absolutely. So you're rooting for Berrettini on the men's game?
Yeah, I think so. Yes, it's from Rome, like me.
And who will you pick on the women's side for this year's championships?
Is very wide open answer to this question. I really don't know. I don't want to say. A couple of years ago. Well, I admire so much. I like so much Bianca Andreescu and Jabeur, and I used to like very much Jennifer Brady. And then now I can't wait till she's back. Honestly, she come from college. She made great speech about college tennis. And And Ashley Barty is Ashley Barty stopped playing. This is really pretty. She was an incredible, good example and great player.
Yeah, if she would have won the US Open, she would have completed her career slam. So
but there are many ifs, she's 25 years old, she could do anything. But, but it's interesting to have this, of course, Viadek as the favorite, because, she won so much, but, others, they have the shot to maybe go all the way.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much, Claudio, for your time. It was a pleasure talking to you and learning about how important is mental training and mental ability to perform in a sport. So thank you very, very much for sharing all your knowledge. And I hope for tennis players, Sense Arena becomes an household equipment very soon.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It was a great pleasure for me to be with you today. Thank you.
All right. Thanks a lot. Have a good day.
All the best. Bye to everybody.
Bye.